Hi, I'm Bharati Singaravel with the News Minute. We are speaking today to actor Gouri Kishan. A clip of her calling out a sexist question at a press meet has gone viral. But this is not just about one question. It's about the everyday sexism that women in cinema face. Can you walk us through what happened today? What happened in that room? There seems to have been a previous interview also that added to why you needed to speak out today.
Yeah. So it all started with, I'm promoting my film Others. It's a medical thriller released today, November 7th. And as part of promotions, press meets are common. But there have been, in my 5 years of experience in the industry, there have been something about press meets just drain you. I think it's the energy and the misogyny and whatever. I never knew a word really, like what is it exactly. But I just knew that for me, it took a lot of my energy and it was very draining for me to go to one. And last week, at the first press meet interaction that we had, my co actor was asked quite jokingly about, we see you picking her up. How much did she weigh? And it was a comment which I was like, how ridiculous. Like, by the time I processed it, they had laughed it off and they had moved on to the next question. And I was feeling very disappointed with myself for not having spoken up. In my defense, if I had the mic in my hand, I wouldn't have able to stop myself. But this was to him, and then everybody. It just the moment had passed. But I remember being so disappointed with myself, and because not for me, I didn't stand up for other women. That guy, he's just going to continue asking these kind of redundant questions, very vulgar, very cheap, and sexualizing women and objectifying them. Because I don't think a hero, or I don't even like the word hero and heroine, an actor who is male will ever be asked something like that. They will not have. So, what is it just because I'm a woman? You think you have the right, like, where is this coming from? So I was already in a bad state, and in a candid interview to that journalist, I thanked him for bringing it up, because when you don't feel like you don't have a platform to speak, and when I got it, I told them my reaction, and what transpired yesterday was a backlash of that. I had called the question stupid, which I still stand ground with. It is absolutely, I'm being nice when I say stupid. I can think of all other kind of words to say it, because it's not even, I don't even want to, engage in these kind of things, because it's beneath me to do it. And if any other situation, if I probably wasn't an actor, because these kind of things happen in families as well. I don't think it's only the industry. Inside your home, inside your workplace, body shaming, or objectifying you depending on your appearance, or calling you names and adding on this, he only stopped with weight. But if today he's going to ask this, tomorrow what is he going to ask me? We are only paving the way for more of this. And it was so I can't believe that. Is it the conditioning, or he's so entitled to even ask the director, why have you cast her? She's a heroine, tell her to lose weight. Who is he to, who gives them the right? It's my body, it's my choice. I will do whatever it is. Whatever, I have that agency. Who are you to take that away from me? And somewhere it comes from the whole inferiority that men and that gender feel towards women, like we are the weaker gender, we're the weaker race, or what is it? And absolutely not all men, because the kind of support I've received from men after the incident was really, I'm so it's very gratifying. Although I was stuck in a room filled with 50 to 60 men, including my team who didn't stand up for me, including my team who was in fact silencing me. And this is what often happens to, see, mine was a public portrayal of this, but it speaks of different levels of, it shows maybe this is what blaming the victim is like. I am the one who was being attacked. I was the one being harassed and bullied. And I just felt like if there was no cameras around, what could have happened? I was I didn't feel safe there. Um,
I understand. And I'm sorry you went through that. I really am. I mean, as a woman. What was going through your mind at that point when you felt you had to stand up for yourself, you had to speak out?
yeah, so the first 4 to 5 minutes was like how you, it's like a reflex. I'm like, what did you just say? Oh, you're the one. Because I was like, oh, this, the anonymity these vloggers have behind the camera, in the darkness, they think they can ask you whatever the hell they want. And I was like, oh, that was you. And I couldn't wait to get my, like to get that conversation with him. And I thought there'll be some kind of uh, like amends that he wanted to make. But no, 10 minutes of defending his stupid stance, his cheap and insensitive and classless stand of wanting to know my weight. This has to stop, because 10 minutes of nobody, the reason I'm saying I didn't feel safe is because at one point I'm looking everywhere seeking help, and I'm trying to, they were silencing me and sidelining me only because I'm a woman.
There was this volley of people just talking to you. Men from every direction in the room seemed to be just coming at you with questions, and with an absolute entitlement that was quite horrifying to watch.
Yeah. And if it was a 10-second or a 20-second statement that happened, like the first press meet, that passed. But this was a solid 10 to 12 minutes. And if we are going to normalize this today, and I'm saying that I didn't feel safe in what was supposed to be a protected environment, where I'm the female lead of a class A, like a A grade audience watching film. I'm supposed to be the elite. If I'm made to feel like this, what about a very normal working class woman in her workplace? If I went through that, what about the people who are working, you know?
So, you're a journalism graduate. What changes do you think that needs to happen in entertainment journalism, particularly when it comes to talking to women actors?
There has to be some form of regulation. I think it's a very unorganized industry at this point. When I say entertainment industry, it's the digital vloggers, and there are like in all aspects and in all degrees there are a lot of channels and all of these things. But there are no norms, so they think anything is okay, and that sort of very open-ended lack of anything, lack of structure is paving way for this. So just like how the print or the TV, I'm guessing they all have certain norms that they need to follow. Digital and entertainment medium will also need that. And in case they do, go wrong or do something which is not following the rule, then they should be reprimanded, because without that fear, nowadays, with whoever has that one phone thinks they have the power to destroy your life, and everyone is a journalist today. But I wouldn't call them that. That doesn't make you a journalist, because you have not shown basic respect for privacy, for space, for just basic respect for a human being. And how do you expect to boast about 35 years in the industry? So basically, I think there has to be like some structural changes. Digital medium, maybe it is also such a common, like, um, everybody has an Instagram account, everybody has a YouTube, can open a YouTube channel and has a Twitter account. So it's become so much information overload and so much chaos happens that they think they can get away with it. But there needs to be some kind of structure, because he was able to ask me this question on a public platform. So what must he be thinking, or what must he be putting on in his own private space is really scary. So I genuinely believe things have to change, and because so many journalists are in solidarity with me, yourself included, right? So when they say we are against these people, he's a freelancer. So when you say there are journalists who do good freelance work, but where does the structure begin? Like, I am also very confused, but I just know that this is not good enough. Whatever the current structure is not facilitating or enabling a healthy culture to propagate. Everybody's around you, like breathing down your neck with phones, with no respect to personal space, catching you in bad angles and vulgar images and using inappropriate pictures as thumbnails and clickbaity headlines, taking things out of context. How long are we going to be at the receiving end of this just because we are actors? If we are so engrossed in dealing with this, then when is the time to focus on our craft? It all comes down to the fact that it's not relevant to them, because zero questions were asked about my character or my work or anything preparation that I did for my role or my movie. Goes on to show that it's not important to them. So, like, who decides these things? If they are not good enough to ask sensible questions, then why was he even there? He didn't deserve a space in that room. He's continuing to work for 35 years. What kind of work has he done if he has continued to how I don't think in today's, like in TNM, do you think somebody in that ideology would be continuing that job?
Of course not.
Of course not. So who is enabling this? These kind of ideologies and people who have these mindsets is age old. There is no place for this kind of bullshit. We're all so done. I am so done with thinking, what are they going to say? Oh, this is the comment they've made. I'm tired. Honestly, I'm really drained. And this is a basic, it was such an attack. It was an indirect attack. He didn't even have the guts to ask me, but goes on to defend his question and even says, I can't ask you current affairs questions because as women we don't have brain. So it's like so layered, and this whole superiority and the which is the greater race, the higher race, and the patriarchy, the chauvinism, the sheer chauvinism that is screaming out there. Like, how long are we going to tolerate this bullshit? Like, enough is enough.